The UK has a long-standing reputation for world-leading research into life sciences and medicine. Recent developments in basic science mean we understand diseases better than we've ever done before. Developments such as in genomics are helping us to spot how diseases such as cancer affect different patients differently, and they're giving us new clues as to how to develop effective new medicines. The first step in discovering a new medicine is to identify the target, maybe a cell receptor or an enzyme or a gene that's involved in the disease process. The next challenge is to find something that affects that target to interfere with or prevent the disease or the development of symptoms. We sometimes have to test tens of thousands of molecules, either through computer modelling or in the test tube, or in cell culture or in animals, to identify a few that are safe and effective enough to take forward to trial in patients. The biopharmaceutical industry invests more than anyone else in research and development, and new science is becoming more and more precise. Despite the fact that failure rates are still high, we're learning about diseases all the time, and when we do have successes, we're bringing improvements to the lives of millions of patients around the world.
Clinical trials are very important in finding out if a medicine works and it's safe. And in fact, every medicine in the NHS has to be tested with clinical trials before it can be used. Clinical trials start with healthy volunteers, and this will be the first time the medicine has been used in people. The next step is to then involve patients with the disease and to see if the medicine works. So does it delay the disease or cure the disease, and is it safe? Before anybody gets involved in clinical trials, they'll sit down with the clinical trial team who will work out with them exactly what's going to happen, any risks, and whether the trial is the right thing for them. As we get more information, the trials grow. So that can be more patients in more hospitals, and not just in the UK, but also in Europe and around the world. Trials can take anywhere from weeks to months to years, depending on the type of disease and the type of medicine that we're studying. All of this information is then shared with the regulator, who works out whether to grant a licence or not. New data and technology means that we can do trials in different ways and now research diseases that previously seemed impossible. The NHS is very active in research, with 700,000 patients taking part in research in diseases such as cancer, heart disease and diabetes. Clinical trials are key to how we develop the medicines of the future, but we can't do it without patients, and we're hugely grateful to everyone who helps make that happen.
Clinical trials are essential for testing whether new medicines are safe and effective, but it really is just the beginning of the journey. They must be monitored and regulated for their whole lifetime. A medicine's license is the green light for it to be given to patients, and it covers everything about how it should be used, who it's for, and what dose is appropriate. It then needs to pass strict tests to make sure it's cost effective for the NHS. Once a medicine is made available, the pharmaceutical company has a duty to continue to monitor it and make sure that it performs safely for as long as it's on the market. This process is called pharmacovigilance, and it helps inform regulators about previously unknown side effects, but it can also be helped to collect additional information, real-world data, that can be fed back to improve future research. More data means a better understanding of what a medicine can do, often allowing it to be used to treat even more conditions or used in a completely different set of patients. The data can be fed back to progress basic science and unlock treatments for future generations.
The way we look for new cures and treatments is evolving, and medicines are more personalised now than ever before. Treatments are becoming more sophisticated, so once deadly conditions like HIV, heart disease and some cancers are now turning into long-term, manageable conditions. New exciting treatments like CAR T therapy, which has recently been adopted by the NHS for use in children who have leukemia, is able to modify the patient's own immune cells to target the disease. Or gene therapies, which are able to change the patient's DNA to actually tackle the root cause of the disease. Treatments like this are breaking the boundaries of medical science and helping scientists make advances in rare diseases, which often affect the youngest of patients. Companies are working on hundreds of advanced therapies, and the UK is at the heart of it. There'll be challenges along the way, but with 7,500 new medicines in the global pipeline, we have the potential to transform the way we treat patients here and around the world.
Pharmaceutical companies around the world are pioneering new medicines and vaccines to change lives for the better. And in the UK life science industry alone, there are 250,000 people employed. But what we do know is that there are 31,000 more jobs that need to be filled by 2025. So never has it been more important that we have a sustainable skills pipeline. We have priority skills gaps in advanced medicines discovery that need filling now. Skills gaps in immunology, genomics and clinical pharmacology. We also know that we need to be recruiting the best from around the world in terms of digital and data skills. All of this means capturing the imagination of people now, people from all backgrounds, people with an interest in biology, chemistry, engineering or mathematics. We are on a complex journey of personalised medicines and vaccines development, a journey that thrives on collaborations between industry, academia, research institutes and hospitals. Whether you want to be a technician, a researcher or a developer, there are exciting opportunities for you to make a real difference.